And look, she bought everybody sandwiches.
Yo, what to do is your boy Jay. It's always a treat when true family meet. Y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get into it tonight. As you guys know, you have the Karmelo Anthony verdict that was handed down to him. Currently, he is doing time of 35 years. His family has appealed the verdict that was handed down to him. Once again, I'm coming back. I love it when y'all hop in my comments and spit all your racist rhetoric. It doesn't do anything but incentivize me and energize me to come back with another video for y'all to dislike and hate on. True thing is, I ain't doing this for y'all. I'm doing it for people who look like me. People who have been handed injustice and had to deal with injustice. Once again, it's not about color. It's about right and wrong. I want y'all to look at something. I'm going to pull it up in a second. But before we do that, family, once again, I want y'all to continue to support me, rock with me. If you feel the commentary, do me 3 favors. Once again, I don't need no money from y'all, no cash apps, none of that, no Zelles. What I want you to do is like, share, comment. And ultimately, if you're feeling the content, subscribe. As I always say, get your boo, grab your favorite drink, get your popcorn. We're going straight into it like right now. I'm going to pull this image up for y'all. I'm going to let this sit here for a second. You want to know what's so crazy? Your supervisor, your department head, your VP, your CEO, your manager has posted this on his or hers Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever. And you wonder why you can't get that promotion. You wonder why you're being discriminated against, because the same people in leadership, deep down, this is what and how they really feel. The nerve of you to put this up as if this is something to laugh about. But once again, like I always say, y'all know who to play these games with. There is nothing funny about this image. I got people who are coming to me saying, hey, man, this ain't about race. Well, if this is not about race, why put this image up? Why celebrate this image? And the crazy thing is, y'all, when I went to the person's IG who posted this image, y'all should see some of the comments. These are some of the same people that you call friends. Some of the same people that you're friendly at work with. I always said this, though. Don't hide how you truly feel about me. Let me know so I know how to handle you. Y'all, we about to hit these IG streets, these YouTube streets, to find out how everybody else feel about the commentary that was made by Jeff Metcalf about Karmelo Anthony, as well as his family. Same person who says, I'm not racist. And the same people who say, I'm not racist. I got black friends. I got Indian friends. I got Asian friends. Are the same people at the end of the day who you have to watch. I have been listening to Changes by Tupac all day. Y'all, that song was released in 1998. And it's still relevant to what we have going on in today's world. When has it been a situation where you are not judged for your ethnicity, but rather your character? I haven't seen that day yet. I'm waiting for it. Let's go into our first reaction tonight, you guys, in reference to the comments that Jeff Metcalf made towards Karmelo Anthony. And y'all tell me ultimately what your opinion is about this. Let's get into it, y'all.
Let me make something racist up so y'all can go viral. I got a new name for Mello, okay? Because he was such this little boy y'all were trying to portray. How about Watermelon Felon? How's that one strike you?
And y'all dead ass expect me to believe that these boys weren't raised to be fucking racist when their dad is referring to Karmelo Anthony as a watermelon felon? Yeah, miss me with that bullshit. It's very apparent to me now that Austin and Hunter are two bullies that were raised by a piece of shit like Jeff Metcalf. And I hope your family never knows peace again. You think it's funny? Oh, let me come up with a race thing since he wants to think he's a little boy or child. Just know, you are never going to know peace, sir. And it's just like, you guys are vile and disgusting. You already got what you wanted. You had a judge that was your friend. You got him sentenced to 35 years. And you're like, you know what? I need to double and triple down. Let's call him a watermelon felon. Let's get these black people mad and have an uproar. Like I said, I hope you never know peace. I hope you have to consistently move. I hope if Hunter Metcalf goes to college, he has to fucking change his name or identity because y'all aren't going to know peace. It's one thing to get your quote unquote justice. It's another to try and rub it in people's face. People ain't going to forget that. So referring to him as watermelon felon, just know your family may never know peace because you said that.
Hey, shout out to my content creator who created that masterful piece there. You know, y'all, let me tell y'all something. As African Americans, we're highly imitated. And I'm sick of it. I'm going to say what most of y'all can't say. Not all of y'all, but majority of y'all. We influence the world. Other ethnicities love our culture. They follow our fashion, our trends. You do everything except for want to be us when we run into injustice. You don't want to put yourself in our shoes. You get your hair cut at our barbershops. You mimic our hairstyles. You get your ass on TikTok and mimic our dances, mimic our voices in order to engage an audience. But let me tell you something. You can electric slide your ass that way. We don't need imitators. If you're going to copy our culture and everything that comes with our culture, you need to be the first to get in line and see when injustice is taking place. One of the things I want to do tonight, you guys, is I want to show you guys a response from D.L. Hughley to Jeff Metcalf and his rhetoric in reference to disrespecting Karmelo Anthony. We need that. We have to have that. It's very imperative that we have elders give their point of view in reference to what is going on in today's climate. If you don't want to hear different perspectives, this is the wrong video for you. But if you want to call a spade, continue to stay locked in. We're going to hear some good stuff tonight. We're going to listen to D.L. Hughley's commentary, and we're going to break it down. Let's get into it, y'all.
So while I can see tragedy all around, Um, the horror of losing your child is unfathomable. But my question is this: in Texas, that has the highest concentration of Black people, the biggest population of Black people in the entire country, you had an all-white jury. You don't understand how problematic that is, because let's be clear, white juries haven't been the most judicious. They have let off a lot of people, white murderers, and they have convicted a lot of innocent Black dudes. So let's not pretend like there's not a dubious reputation. You can't find any Black people for the jury, but you miraculously can find Black dudes on the football field or the baseball field or the basketball court. As I recall, the Southern region has the most concentration of the highest concentration, the largest population of Black people in the country. Black people, by and large, have 60% of Black people live in the South. And more particular, the state of Texas has more Black people than anywhere in the country. You do not have a problem finding Black people to play games, but you somehow manage to have a problem with sitting them on the jury. You will never ever see in this country, and I'd be willing to bet there's never been a situation where a white guy killed a Black guy, and that white guy was charged by a Black prosecutor, tried by a Black judge, and had a all black jury give down the sentence. There's never going to be a reverse To Kill a Mockingbird, a reverse 12 Angry Men. And let me tell you something. Nobody's more angry than 12 Black people who are not getting paid. They missing work to be at court. Even at that, why do you know how much of this could be avoided if white people just didn't walk up to Black people and ask what they were doing there? I don't care if it's Trayvon Martin. I don't care if it's Ahmaud Arbery. I don't care if it's this case. What makes you believe you have the right to walk up to somebody and ask them what they were doing there? In this situation, it wasn't a coach who walked up to Karmelo Anthony. It wasn't an official. It wasn't a teacher. It was two 17-year-olds, the same age as him. What makes you believe you have the authority to question what somebody's doing there? You know how many things could avoid it if you just taught people to mind their own business? If your question to me is, why don't you teach Black people or Black children to respect authority? Why don't you discern who has it?
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. You guys, y'all hear that? Big shout out to DL Hughley. Man, he made a couple of good points there. One of the things he stated is, where would the sports world be without African Americans? That's true. Now, I'm not going to discredit other ethnicities because you have dynamic players in every sport. But let's take away all of the Black folks out of basketball, baseball, soccer, football. Let's see how entertaining that sport would be. Now, one thing a lot of people didn't talk about is even your other athletes of different ethnicities. Who y'all think they get trained by? African American trainers. Giving them a flavor. Showing them what they need to do to become successful. He made another good point. If the roles were reversed, would you see an all-white male or female being judged by an all-Black jury and a Black judge? The answer is you would not. So if it's not acceptable on the flip or reverse side, why is it acceptable now? My heart continuously goes out to the Metcalf mother because she lost a child. No matter whether that child was a bully, no matter whether that child was upright riding, she still lost a child and she's still grieving. As we know, Charleston White ended up withdrawing his support from Karmelo Anthony's family due to his dislike of how the father was handling business. One of the things I first said to myself when I saw the footage, as well as heard the footage of Charleston White going back in reference to dropping his support, I thought, what about the child? What about Karmelo? Now, I will say this, and I'll be fair to all parties involved. We don't know what happens behind the scenes, what conversations were had, what negative things occurred. The bigger picture to me is Karmelo. How can we find justice for him? For those who are aware, and for those who aren't aware, Jeff Metcalf, the father of Austin Metcalf, did an interview a few days ago, and he let his true colors be shown, y'all. And I love it. I love it that he let his true colors be shown, because it shows what 99% of Caucasian Americans really feel about us. So we're going to jump into that tonight. We're going to see just a tidbit of the interview. And as always, I want y'all to get in the comments and tell me what you guys are thinking in reference to his comments, not only about Karmelo, but Karmelo's mom, as well as Karmelo's dad, you guys. Man, it really makes it hard for you to pull for this guy. Once again, grieving parents are grieving parents. But it's something about grief that really brings out your real point of view. Let's jump into it. Y'all tell me what y'all think. And then, as always, we're going to break it down, you guys. And we're going to go ahead and discuss it. Let's get into it.
A lie is temporary, but the truth lasts forever. I want to say that one more time so it's loud and clear for everybody to hear and understand. A lie is temporary, but the truth lasts forever. You know where I found this quote? I know the person who's looking at me right now does. I appreciate it, Mr. Drew Anthony, off your Facebook page. How poetic justice is served. You just do a big softball and knocked it out of the park. Thank you for making it so easy for me. So you can live with your lie if you want to, but my truth is forever. Just like the fact your son is a convict and a killer. Forever.
Just like the fact that your boys, your twin boys, broke your collarbone because you were beating on their mom. It's easy for you to get on the internet and portray at this point that you and your twin sons had a awesome relationship. Awesome relationship. Talked every day. You live 12 minutes away from them. But if you guys really had the great relationship, parental wise, that you portray, why is it that they broke your collarbone? Are you going to talk about that? Or are you going to skip over that and continue with all of this media babbage and racism that you've been spewing? Let's get back into it.
Forever's a long time. What's your master plan, Mr. Anthony? To use your son as income and soak up as much money playing victim to line your pockets and then abandon him when he's at sentencing or victim impact? You just left him up there by himself? Amazing. Amazing. What about you, Drew? What kind of father are you? You want to talk about what kind of father? All right, let's talk about what kind of father you are. Let's talk about your arrest. Let's talk about your warrants. Oh, was it drugs? Coke? You did? Tell me some other shit. Let's pull it up. Because I'm welcome every one of you to pull up my criminal history.
Don't do that,
Someone
bro.
who tried to make up
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that, bro. Because let me tell you something. You talking about coke? I can guarantee if we pull up the number of ethnicities who do coke versus the other, I guarantee African Americans do not rule that statistic, my brother. You're an angry, short, pudgy little man. If you want to bring honor to your deceased child, this is not the way to do it. If you want to shame your family name, this is definitely the way to do it. But one of the things is you can't hide how you truly feel. But once again, I can guarantee you this. If you really had some stumped down individuals in front of you, so you're all comfortable on your couch right now in the safety of your own home, you wouldn't say this to nobody's face. You wouldn't say this to nobody's face who you know will put their foot up your ass. And the people that you bring with you. Yeah, it's real easy to be a super tough guy sitting on your couch, once again, in the safety of your own home. You're nothing but a little short runt who has the gall, now that things are over, to spew your racist hatred. I don't think with him it's about justice. I think with him it's more so about really getting out how he feels about other ethnicities. If you don't believe me, I encourage you to listen to the rest of this.
Bullshit saying I'm a sexual assault person. Guess what? If you're convicted of sexual assault in Texas, you have to register. Please check the registry. Please check my background in criminal history. It's not there. You tried to spin a narrative to make me look bad because you look bad already by yourself. You fuck up all your own. I don't need to help you. I hope you're proud of yourself, bro. I hope you go home and tell your 3 little kids your brother's in prison because he's a dumbass and he stabbed someone.
And so this is the other thing, y'all. And I'm going to let the video play. If he knew Karmelo's dad would put his foot up his ass, or he was really a threat, he wouldn't be saying all this. He feels like his dad is timid, non-confrontational, and shy. Because let me tell you something. One thing about life, people know who to play with. And one thing about this world is very small. You're bound, especially when you're on the internet doing all that yapping, to run into some of the same people that you talk about, some of the same people that you cast judgment on. But see, this is what happens when someone doesn't install true fear into you or doesn't come to you as a man and say, hey, listen, this is how things are going to be. This is what I'm not going for, and this is what I am going to go for. So he popping it right now. But let's see how much of a tough guy he is. Let's continue.
Tell me how you're going to parent the other ones. Tell me how you're going to explain to them that their brother is a killer. You're going to have family reunions? You're going to leave an empty chair for him? Are y'all all going to wear the striped suits or an orange jumpsuit in remembrance? I don't know. Your name will be forgotten in a matter of weeks or months or a year. But Austin's name, that lives on forever.
To you and your family, and the racists who follow you, and the closeted racists who follow you as well. Let's go and look at your kids, both of your kids' background, in reference to all of the accusations that they have towards them for being bullies, insensitive teenagers. And honestly, I see where they get it from. The only difference between you and your sons, of course, is the height, short man, and the weight. You probably weigh 100 to 200 pounds more than them. But the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I want you guys to listen to how he talks. And as you know, when kids are born, they get 50% of their mother's personality, 50% of their father's personality at minimum. So if you look at the characteristics of of their father, how do you think those twins really act when they're at school and there's no one to police their true character?
It's a legacy. You know what they put in the yearbook? The cover of the yearbook said, "More than just." And you open it up, and the very first page is Hunter Metcalf carrying his brother's jersey of the first home game, running out of the tunnel. Probably one of the most emotional moments I've ever seen watching him play football, because it was the first time he was not on the field with his brother. I can't imagine the mental fortitude that young man has, because there is no way I could have done or played a down, much less a season. The amount of pressure he probably felt, because he slid over to take Austin's position. They played together, inside, outside. Now Hunter takes over, he's inside. He leads the team. He wins. He has the most tackles in the district and had to miss a game due to concussion. He gets all the honors. He's all district. He's this, he's that. He's team captain. He's Austin 2.0. But he's still Hunter Metcalf, not Austin's brother. He will make a name for himself, just like Austin did. But when they come running on that field, him holding that jersey, and all eyes are on him, the whole world is watching. Made every news channel. You think we like the spotlight? You think I want to be here? I'm forced into this position.
Bruh, stop it. On a football level, we didn't hear about your kids before this. We didn't hear about them being outstanding athletes before this. I challenge everybody who's listening to this video right now to go to Huddle, Max Sports, all of these other publications, and see if the Metcalf brothers were even mentioned in reference to being outstanding football players and or track athletes. And if I'm wrong, drop the article in the comment. Let's talk about it. But look, their dad, y'all, this guy's a straight up doofus. He reminds me of one of those fathers who lives his life through the son's achievements. There's no way this guy who was 5'3", 5'4", dominated any sport in high school, let alone through college. Y'all look him up too, Jeff Metcalf. See what he's done. Also, what has he done in reference to philanthropy for his community? Once again, man, I love it because you're truly showing who you are. Y'all can hop in my comments as you guys have been doing and spitting your racist rhetoric. But once again, they don't do nothing but turn me up. You can't stop me. I'm going to continue to cover injustice. I'm going to continue to cover racists like this and put them on Front Street. Because you want to know the sad thing? These are, once again, some of your managers, head of departments, VPs, GMs. This is how they really think about y'all. Think about us. When they get with their friends, these are the type of conversations that they have. And then come back to work, shake our hands, wink their eyes. But with people like this, you can never win. You never get that promotion that you're looking for on your job because they're always going to find an excuse not to give it to you. I love it. Continue, Jeff, to spit your racist rhetoric. Let's go.
I didn't sign up. I didn't ask for my son to get murdered. But I have to deal with it in a constructive, positive way, because I still have to be a role model for Hunter. I still have someone who depends and counts on me. I can't let him down. It's the same way I feel about God. I don't want to let him down. But will I fail? Yes, sometimes I do. We all do. But do the best job you can, man. Be present for your kids. You can't get back time. Time is something. Can you make time? Can you spend time? Is there enough time? Is there a lot of time? Time is something that's very intangible. But one thing about time is it doesn't stop. Even though I felt like it stopped April 2nd, 2025. My life was forever changed. And I've had to deal with that. Megan's life has forever changed. It pains me to see the pain in her eyes.
Did it pain you to see the pain in her eyes when you were putting your hands on her? Did her life change when you were beating on her? When your two sons broke your collarbone because you were beating on their mom? Let's talk about why you and Megan got divorced. Let's talk about how there were things in a domestic violence situation that were happening, but you just didn't press charges on you. See, the same way you're talking about other people have records, you're just lucky that Megan wanted you to be in her children's or you guys' children's lives without you having a record. She didn't want to jeopardize your livelihood in reference to whatever type of job that you have there, Jeff. Man, you skating on thin ice as if there's not rumors that took place with you putting your hand on your wife. And I think it's really y'all short man complex. Look at him. Non-attractive guy. 5'1", 5'2", excessively overweight with a short man complex. So how dare you bring up your ex-wife, Megan, who through this whole ordeal has been nothing but gracious. See, that's who that's who my heart goes out to. You're going about this all wrong, my brother. And matter of fact, I'm sorry, not my brother, Jeff, because you're no friend of mine. You're no brother of mine. You're just telling how you really feel, which once again, 98% of y'all or 99% of y'all feel like this, but you ain't got the balls to come out and tell somebody this who will put their foot up your ass. But once again, we got a tough guy. He's in the safety and comfort of his own home. Crazy thing is, though, he's not going to be condemned for his racial rhetoric. He's going to be upheld and applauded by the same people who feel just like he does.
And it really pains me to see Hunter go through what he has to do and be as strong as he is. It's unbelievable. One of the best times, and this is a God thing. So we had the same hunting lease for 16 years. Since my boys were 2 years old, they had been going to hunt and go out, and we'd watch wildlife and look at deer and turkeys and see the cows, and and we lived outdoors. We'd sit underneath at night at the stars, and we had an app on the phone where you could pull it up and it would tell you the constellations. And I taught them about stars and how to navigate and how sailors did it to sail the seas. And I just taught them, this is the Milky Way, that's Orion's belt. I spent time with them. Time is the most important thing in life because you can't get it back. Because once it's gone, it's gone. It's like your kids grow up once. Don't miss it. Don't be absent. Don't work too hard because you think you're providing. You know what they want? They don't give a shit about their new clothes or their fancy Xbox games or what. Well, they may think that, but the truth of the matter is, when you look back on it and you see the time you either wasted or you spent it well. Now, everybody in life will die with a regret. You just try to die with as few regrets as possible. The one regret that I know I will not have anything as far as what type of father I was. I don't regret it. I spent time with my boys. I loved my boys. I taught my boys. I tried to make my boys go to church when they were really young, but they fought.
Yeah, you taught your boys how to be racist. Once again, the apple don't fall too far from the tree. You taught them how to be bullies. You didn't teach them how to look at everyone as equal until they give you a reason not to. You didn't teach them to look at a person in reference to their character versus the color of their skin. So whatever rhetoric they had and have is coming from you. So if you're talking about being a good role model, if we're looking at your words and your actions, there's no doubt about it. You are far from being a good role model. Hence, your broken collarbone from beating on your wife. Once again.
Me. And I was arguing with God because, like, I'm trying every day, God, but they're not listening. So God works in funny ways. I told you this earlier. All of a sudden, when the kids in school and his friends were going to church on Wednesday night, all of a sudden it became cool. Cool. If I can't do it, God says, hold my beer. I got this. Watch this. And he arranges it. So God is introduced to their life through their friends. I recently saw one of the counselors who led the small group with Austin and Hunter. And he told me about the time he needed someone to step up and lead. And guess who was the first one to raise his hand? Austin always wanted to be first. He was firstborn. You could say he was the big brother. He always had Hunter's back. Hunter always had his too. But they were only a few minutes apart. But Austin always took that lead role. It was built inside of him. It was manifested that way. I do believe I will take some credit. I tried my best to instill values and morals and teach him about life and what it was to be a man. And he was taken. I didn't mean to get off the story, but we were talking about the deer lease and them going hunting with me for the last 16 years. Well, what happened was the landowner reached out to us right before we were going to make our next payment for the following year. We still had 2 months left on the lease we had paid for, but he informed us that we had to get everything off the property, that he was going to sell the property, and we had to get everything off by March 31st.
Let me ask y'all something. If you hear Jeff talk, you damn near think he was a single parent. He's talking about what he instilled in his twin sons. He has yet to say anything about what Megan had or has instilled in her sons. He didn't say, hey, Megan and I instilled this. These are Megan and I's beliefs. Man, it's all about you. So the mom don't get no credit. She carried these twins for 9 months. She don't get no credit, except for being their mom and carrying them. But anything other than that, all of the credit goes to you. You are delusional at its best. You are delusional at its finest. And look, if no one else is gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. Because ain't nobody spanking me. Ain't nobody punishing me. Well, you're an entrepreneur. You can really speak your mind. I don't have to go to work and work with anybody who believes and have the beliefs of someone like Jeff Metcalf. And I think the one above for that. Have I in the past? Yes. But thank goodness I don't have to report to or work with anybody like this.
Anything left behind was going to be property of the new owners. Well, I had just had complete shoulder replacement. So I'm one-armed. I'm no good to help. So
why did you have that shoulder replacement, my guy? Let's talk about it. Go in depth in reference to why you had to have that shoulder replacement. Go in depth in talking about your collarbone that your twin boys who revered you so much broke once again because you put your hands on their mother. Don't just skip over that as if it's nothing. Talk about what happened then. Oh, I forgot. You don't want to. You won't tell your little dirty secrets, huh?
I have to rely on my friends and my family to go down there and get as much stuff as we can. Because we have 16 years worth of stuff. And I'm talking blinds, feeders, four-wheelers, smokers, you name it. We could live out there. If there was an apocalypse, that's where I'd go. So we go this very last weekend. We all know it's a goodbye. The irony of it is unreal. That hunt is probably the best hunt in my entire life. I wish I could be like Groundhog Day. I could go back and just relive it. It's a great story. It's opening weekend of turkey season. We go out the first day. And I'm calling, and we got gobbles, but they're all henned up and they're not coming. So I tell the boys, hey, we're going to have to get out of the pop-up. And we're going to have to like go chase birds and see if we can call them in. So we get out and we start walking. And Austin told me the night before, he said, Dad, I'd really like to shoot a pig because I've never shot a pig. I really want a pig. And even though I haven't shot a turkey, I really would like to shoot a pig. I said, well, they're mostly nocturnal, but I brought the ARs with the thermals. We'll hog hunt at night. Okay. So we get up out of the pop-up and we start working our way down the creek. And we come up upon a field. And about 300 yards across the field, there are 6 hogs that walk out. Austin turns to me and says, Dad, can we shoot them? I said, well, all we have are shotguns. And no. What do we do? I said, well, there's only one alternative here that's left. You're going to have to run all the way back to the cabin and then grab the rifle and run all the way back. Okay. Now, don't me wrong. Austin's 6 foot, 215. Doing track drills to increase his speed and was running a 4.7. I don't know how, but the cabin is over a half mile. This boy shows back up in 15 minutes. And I'm like, what? And he's breathing hard and he's sweating. I was like, just take a breath. And I said, okay, here's what we're going to do. These hogs can't see very well, but they can smell. We're going to stay downwind and we're going to move down this fence line. And I bet you they're going to come across this field and they're going to go to this creek. And that's where we're going to intercept them. Okay. So we start moving. They start moving. We get within 200. Dad, can I shoot one? No, not yet. We get within 100. Dad, they're close. Can I shoot one? No. Follow me. Be quiet. It's about patience. Don't rush. We get 45 yards away. I said, come here. Put your gun on this fence post. Look at me. Take a deep breath. Take your time. Slowly pull the trigger. So we step back, me and his brother, and we're watching. There's 6. I said, shoot the biggest one on the left. Boom! I see legs going up. Me and Hunter are yelling at him, reload, because there's 5 more running around. And he's like, I got him. I'm like, reload. So he's trying to chamber a shell. We're looking down this path, and these pigs are crossing. 1, 2, 3, 4, shoot 1. 5 goes across, then he shoots. And I'm like, he goes, I think.
Yeah. All that. If you want to see the rest of this interview, I encourage you to make sure that you follow, subscribe, and look up Hype Plus TV, HYPE. the +sign TV. You're going to be able to see the rest of this 2-hour interview, you guys. Listen, one of the things is the reason that I wanted to show y'all this interview tonight is because I wanted you to see some of the characteristics of the Metcalf father. Once again, the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree. I am going to be subjective when it comes to what I'm about to say next. As a parent, no one wants to lose a child. You automatically think that your child is going to bury you. We want our children to not only live longer than us, but to continue on the legacy. But man, when I listen to Jeff Metcalf, it's just real hard to feel sorry for this guy. He's a dirtbag. You call Karmelo Anthony's mom a drunk. You call his dad a coward because you know he won't stick his foot up your ass. But boy, you choosing the right person to pick on. You're choosing the right person to pick on because he's not confrontational. It just makes it very hard, you guys, to really sympathize as well as empathize with a parent who's grieving when you throw out racial rhetoric. There's something in me that makes me feel like, once again, you've been feeling this way all along, even prior to the incident of the unfortunate circumstance that happened in Austin. Jeff, you are overshadowing, the unfortunate circumstance that happened to Austin. But let's be 100% honest. Those boys get their mentality from you, man. If I'm looking at your character and just judging it off of this 2-hour video, man, I feel sorry for those kids to have a father like you. One thing about life is 360. Full circle. It always comes back around. Everybody is not going to be a fan, and your supporters are not going to always be able to protect you. From the rhetoric that you spew out. Like I say, what you're doing is overshadowing what happened to your son. But what we're here to do right now is seek justice. There are new findings in this case, and we just want the truth. We're not going to be idiots and go with what the media says off bat, because we already know that the media always shapes their own narrative. If he's wrong, he's wrong. If he's right, he's right. And I do believe that you should pay for whatever crime you commit. But also, first and foremost, I am a big believer of the truth, y'all. Let's get all the facts and findings out here and cast our judgment from there. But I do want a fair trial. So tonight we had a chance to see a little bit of the interview from Jeff Metcalf. I want y'all to hop in the comments, tell me what y'all think. We're going to continue to put coverage on this story and bring light to the story. Once again, it's your boy Jay. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Until next time, peace out.